Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. It's Dating with Katy. Today we're still moving in the online realm because I want to make you uber successful in there because I do believe in online. So today's topic is what not to write in your bio. What not to do in your photos. Now the photos one is a little bit of a reminder. I did a specific episode for men and women on their photos, but this one today is going to encompass both your photos and what not to write. So you want to definitely listen in. I've got some great tips and tricks and ideas. And first, I want to thank my sponsor, Sync Matchmaking. That's CINQE.com. Trusted, proven, great results. You can work with me, and I will be working with Sync Matchmaking. So that is my company. And then on top of that, if you need coaching, not everybody needs a matchmaker. Sometimes you just need someone to cheer you on in this dating realm. And that is what I do. I have great success with my coaching clients where you get really focused. A lot of them are uber successful and just needing to detour and kind of focus on their love life. So let me know, reach out. You can do the work with me button below. Click the links below and make sure you follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of polls and fun stuff, which I'm going to talk about. So I took a poll after I did episode 12. Episode 12 had to do with, should you even be dating? Right? I know. All of you dating are my 20%ers, right? Those of you who care enough to listen, you're my 20%. You're people who are looking to find other quality, cool, ready individuals, right? Someone looking for that LTR, who wants to put in the effort. You know I'm all for those things. Kind of old school, I get it. But you guys are already here and listening. So the problem is, there's the 80% who are taking up your time and they shouldn't be online. They shouldn't be dating. They shouldn't even be trying because it's wasting your time and you're getting frustrated. But hey, I made an episode just to see if these people would listen and really think about, is this a good spot for their dating life? So let's go over some of the questions that I asked on my Instagram poll. Now, the first question was, should you even be dating? When I date, what are the 3 things I do? Do I jump in? Do I take time to get myself ready to date? Or do I have to wait till all of my ducks are in a row? Come on, you know somebody like that, right? Which isn't a bad thing, but man, you might be waiting a long time for those ducks. So I was shocked at this one because I do have a lot of followers who I feel like are very, very high qualified, high skilled, high EQ people. That's emotional quotient. But I was still shocked by this number. So believe it or not, when I date, 33% of you said that you jump in. Early on, I might have said the same thing about myself. So hey, I get it. But jumping in is not always your best idea. Have you ever jumped into freezing cold water, come up for air, and just realized probably wasn't your best idea? Maybe you should have stepped in little by little. So can't say that I encourage that. 41% of you said you take time. You take your time to go through therapy, to prepare yourself financially, to make sure you're healthy and fit, and then even you're mentally ready. I talk about this in my foundations, which I think is literally episode 2. You've got to have mental fortitude to date. It is slightly a job, and you gotta buff up a little bit, right? You gotta stay strong. So 26% of you said you have to get your ducks in a row. Now I know for a lot of you I'm a full-time mom. I really don't have time to date. So I'm gonna wait till my kids are out of the house. That is a great reason to wait. I'm telling you, spend time with your kids. They grow up fast. Mine are already out of the house, and it makes me sad. So focus on that. Some of you, gentlemen, you're paying off your ex-wives. Ladies are too. Some of them are paying off their ex-husbands, but you don't want to go date and be financially struggling with this new woman or really looking to always split bills or kind of put that pressure on her. So you're waiting to get that finished and through. A lot of the guys I've dated really were just like, look, I paid her out. I'm finally done. I remember I was with a buddy of mine. It was the last check he ever had to write her, and we went out for drinks. So I get it. Maybe you need to wait for those seasons to be gone. Now, the next question I ask is, if someone is about divorce, so most of my followers are divorced. I do have a lot of youngins who want to get married and like the old school approach that I bring. But if you are divorced, you know what that's like to go through a divorce. It is not easy. It is not fun. It is not painless. Some of you maybe did a great job, but for the most part, the stories I hear are a little bit horrific. And I think it really depends on the states too. California, not easy. And I'm going to be honest, we all know about lawyers and judges. They make more money the longer we're in there. So I have my theories on that. But I asked you guys, when is it appropriate to date someone who's in divorce? Is it as long as they're separated, meaning living outside of homes, separated in, sometimes that separation could be nesting where they're sharing the same house but going back and forth out of the house. I don't know, some of you being separated, maybe you're okay with they live in separate bedrooms and they've been doing it for a long time. Not a fan. I shared this in episode 12. Why? But I can't believe it because actually 31% of you said it was okay if they were at least separated. I don't trust the separation. It's too easy of a word to say. A lot of people who are separated are still married, not looking. I would not encourage people to do that. That is my own personal opinion. This is what I believe, and only 14% of people said this one. I believe that once someone has served papers, you are free to go. And why do I say that? Because, well, here in California, it took me 2 years to actually get finalized. So served papers, I was ready to date. I'd already kind of been checked out anyway, and it took 2 years. So was I not going to date in those 2 years? Of course I was going to date. So the rest of you said 55% you want it finalized. That's great in theory, but it's probably pretty hard too. So the next thing I asked, how attractive is it when their finances, family, and health are not in order? Of course, 73% of you said no way. All three have to be in order. All of the above are not okay. I want them in order. Mine are in order. Yours should get in order. Go work on that. And the last question I asked is if somebody was a little messy, if somebody was working on it, or if somebody was already done and gone, which person would you be willing to date? So only 5% of you said you'd date the messy person. Nobody has time for that, unless you like drama in your life, but I don't think that's my followers. 36% of you said if they're working on it, maybe going through therapy. I had a client the other day who went back to an ex-girlfriend, called that the circle back. I'm actually a proponent of it when it's done right. She had not told him that she had been molested as a child, so every time she was getting close to him, she'd wig out. Right, guys, you know the woman who wigs out, but there's a deeper reason why. And so she's finally going to therapy for it. So he said, because now she's working on it, he is willing to work with her through it because he really likes her. Ladies, if a man really likes you, he'll stick it out with you. And then lastly, most of you guys said 69% of you said no way. I need you guys to have it in order. I have it in order. So I love those answers, right? I love that answer right there. So interesting. Make sure you listen to all of my episodes. They're actually in a sequential order in this beginning series, in this first season. I want you to get super successful. I want you to be confident. I want you to have some fun dating. So let's go into today's topic. Do not do this on your online bios. Now, you could be on Bumble, you could be on Match, you could be on, there's all different kinds of online. People are using Facebook. People are DMing people nowadays. Well, here are some definitely tried and true things that you can do and not do to be memorable. And I speak about that in my last episode. Are you memorable? Like, you want somebody to turn off their phone, put it down, and be like, dang, he was, that picture of him in a suit, that picture of him with a pocket square, he was hot. Or that guy who puts his phone down and says, man, that girl was funny. Like, funny is hot. And her photos were great. That's what you want. Are you memorable? So let's go into the nots. Here we go. Here's 5 photos that you should not be doing. And now this is a repeat. I did these in episodes, I think 13 and 14 for the men and women. Please do not repeat your photos. So a lot of you, I see this in guys a lot. You take this selfie car photo and then you take one on a different day in the car, same thing. Then you take one on a different day. Look, I get it. I know men have a hard time getting photos and it's hard to ask someone to take your photos. Go listen to my podcast. I'll give you lots of ideas. But don't give me a redundant, similar photo in the same spot. Can't do it. Nobody gets excited about it. You should only have one. And look, if you have to do a car selfie, it's usually good lighting. It's probably your best bet. Better than the bathroom. So please, just don't do it on repeat. And here's my suggestion. If you're going to put up 5 photos, I recommend about 5. You do not need to do your whole life story. This is not your mother's photo album of you. Those 5 should each represent 20% of who you are. Now, if you put a photo up of you doing hot yoga, but you hate hot yoga and you only did it that one time, that's not really representative, ladies. Be true to who you are. It goes both ways. So make sure that those photos really represent 20% of who I am. Here's me with my dog. Here is me on my bicycle. Here's whatever it is, make it 20%. Here's me with my kiddo. And I do believe in having kids in photos, but go listen to the podcast. All right, number 2, don't put a meme. We've seen them all. We don't need to see your meme. You're wasting a photo slot. Don't put a meme. Like, I get it. Maybe make it in a witty banter way. That would be a good use of wordage, but using your photos for a meme, it's unattractive. Number 3, please do not put half your face in or do like one of those really artsy photos where it's, just like a half face. Nobody wants to see that. And nobody wants to see you with a mask on anymore. Done. Okay. Number 4, do not put a photo of just your car or just your dog or anything else that you're not even in the photo or where you've traveled. No one needs to see your travel photos. That's for later. That's for a discussion. That's for sharing about how excited you were to go to Lisbon, Portugal, and try all the wines and take the little tour cars. I mean, that is explanatory. You do not have to use a photo. If you are going to use a dog photo, a car photo, travel photo, make sure it's yours. So the dog should be yours. The car should be yours. And that should be you traveling in the photo. And make sure that it's a good, clear photo. Lastly, we all know, do not put friends in photos. I actually hate group photos. I hate group photos that have hotter people in them and where you can't really recognize who the person is. So never a bonus. Be careful of that. Now, lastly, somebody just recently said, Katy, I just don't take good pictures. And look, it's true. I have a client. He is 67, good looking, doctor, tall, handsome, blonde, good head of hair. Can't get a good picture for the life of me. And I'm the one taking the pictures and I'm very good at it. I did finally do a photo shoot with him. He was dressed well. He did my little seated stance that I like men to do. Go back and listen to the podcast, guys. It's super sexy. And I actually started having him do what I call just the look away, where you actually look just a little bit off to the side and smile as if you're talking to someone, as if you're laughing. And I always crack a joke so my client can relax a little bit. But it's really a good photo, and you'd be holding a Starbucks cup. I mean, I've used props before with my clients, so it looks like they're in their everyday life. Nobody needs to know you guys. So do the half look away. Actually, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see a bunch of photos. I had a whole Instagram reel on the look away. So take a peek at that. So those are the pictures, what not to do in your photos, a couple what to do's, a little help right there. Let's move on what not to write in your dating online profile. Now, again, if you go back to my last podcast, it is what to write so that you can be memorable, but please don't write this. Number one is just ask me. Drives me nuts, drives every girl nuts. If a super cute guy does that, or a girl, and you still really want to talk to them and start to do the DMing, this is what I always recommend. I always write, what are you, CIA, that you're so special? So fill me in. Something simple and quick just to see if they'll even grab the hook, because they just might be super lazy. So if you at least throw a question out, if they can receive that back and share, great. They're not that lazy. They just were lazy that day and didn't want to set up their bio. It happens. But we also want to make sure that they're just not lazy across the board, because we know there's a lot of that out there. Number two, guys and women, do not put emojis, okay? When it's all emojis in a row and it's like a taco and a fish and a mountain and I get it. But I'm looking for grammar. I'm looking for education. I'm looking for effort. Please, 2-3 emojis max, but not your entire bio. It's very grammar school without the grammar. You know what I'm saying? Number 3, stop writing what you don't want. We all hate that person who's like, I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for that. Now, look, I appreciate someone who is direct. Not everybody does. Like, if you like tall, thin girls, if you like great big arms on a guy, and you want to put that in there just to kind of narrow down what you're looking for, then do it. I'm totally fine with that. But if you use the negative of that, that's probably not your best. You're not going to be finding what you want, and you're going to be, really frustrating a lot of people, and they're not even going to read your bios. So just don't put the negatives. State who you are and state what you're looking for. Number 4, when you don't ask a question in your bio, it's not good. You need to have something where the other person can bounce off, right? So for example, what's the last book you read? If somebody's reading your bio, they can respond in the DMs, hey, this is the book I've been reading. What was the last vacay that you went on? What's any question that you have? And I have an Instagram reel on this as well that has a couple different questions. Do you like darts? Darts or billiards? Something fun and almost competitive. And ladies, I'm going to share this with you because men love a little competition on a woman, a little edge. So, darts or billiards. Any guy, I don't know, any guy, I don't care how much money he has or how little money he has, any guy would like that. They would love to go to a bar and just shoot some darts or billiards with you. So that kind of fun question opens up for better banter when you get to the DM side, which we will be talking about coming up. And lastly, make sure, and guys, this one I'm gonna ask you to do. Guys, could you please make sure you actually read her bio? And now look, On Bumble, it's short. It's what, 300 words. On Match, it's much longer. This isn't rocket science. This is not a novel. You guys have the time to read that. If you really like a girl or a guy, make sure you read their bio. And always, when you get to the DM side, and I'm going to share this later, make sure you use something that you read in a question to them, because then it looks like you showed the interest and you put the effort in. So guys, share with me what you love and what you don't love. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Please get in my database. I would love to get to know you and see how I can help you. Not only that, I might just match you up with someone fabulous. All right, you guys, make sure you tune in for the next one, and we will be getting you confident, successful, and having some fun dating.